So today we're going to talk about writing your inquiry project section called the procedure. And from the time you start, probably 6th grade around here, you learn how to write a procedure and you go over that. We're going to go into some detail about what you should really include in a procedure. And this is going to be as part of our Tide Pool project. So the first thing I show you is peanut butter and jelly, and many of you will go, oh, I remember we write the directions for how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and we forget a bunch of details, and then the teacher puts peanut butter on the back of their hands. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you maybe have not seen this demonstration, but usually in middle school, teachers do this demonstration. And this shows that in a procedure, you need to write details such that another person, if they were to get your procedure, they would be able to do the exact same experiment as you did and analyze the data in the exact same way as you did. So if you're missing details, then the details you miss, you need to think about what would be important for someone to do the exact same procedure as you did. Oftentimes, we get people writing in the procedure, gather your materials. This statement does not need to be said, okay? And the reason being is that gathering your materials would not enable another person to do your procedure the same way. Of course they're going to do that. You don't need to actually say that. Another statement that you can just avoid altogether, pick up your pencil. This is a pet peeve of many science teachers. Someone told them to be detail-oriented and they say pick up your pencil. Things that don't make any difference, do not waste the time to write them. Think about what actually matters and write those things and concentrate on those things. So, what to include? I'll give you a step-by-step description of what you did to collect and analyze the data. That's what your procedure should include. So, data collection. You need to include the date, the time, and the location of the data collection. Any other detail about the data collection. So we're going to tide pools. Since we're going to tide pools, did you focus on the intertidal zone? Did you focus on that low intertidal zone? Where did you focus your collection? How did you decide on that? That decision-making process, also one statement about that. Who participated in the data collection? Okay, if you took your data by yourself, that's fine. But if it takes more than one person, someone else who is trying to do your same procedure would need to know that. Materials used in the collection. You do not need to make a materials list, but let's say you used calipers to determine how wide or thick different muscles were. And so you're looking at different muscles, seeing how wide they were. You need to put that I used calipers that measured the width of the muscle. And I measured the width of the muscle on each muscle exactly 1 inch up from the base of the muscle. That way, you say exactly what it is you measured and exactly what tool you used to measure it with. Those are the important things, because if you measured it with a ruler, you would get different results. So the fact that you need calipers gives you some information that is pertinent and important to you understanding this. How sampling sites were selected. And you need to say, okay, we decided to focus on rocky areas with the south-facing slope and took them 1 meter radius of a circle, and that's what we did our sampling on. All those details, the exact size of the sampling area, the 1 meter radius circle, you need to include that. How many repetitions did you do? Did you do once? Did you do twice? I hope you didn't do it once, because you probably need to do a minimum of 5 collections in order to have your data say anything. The second part, and this is what many students miss points on, is they forget that it's also just as important to give the procedure on how you analyzed your data. What software did you use to make your graphs? Did you use the graphs, like highly technical software like R? Or are you just using what most people are probably using, which is Microsoft Excel? So what did you use? How you determined what type of graph to use. You can say, I had two quantitative variables I was measuring, thus the type of graph I chose to use to make my, for this project, was a scatter plot or line graph. How you determined what number of repetitions to do. You can say something to the effect of, hey, I noticed there was a lot of variation from location to location, so I noticed I was getting really different numbers each time I checked a different tide pool, so I increased the number of repetitions I did. And then another thing is that any other decisions about how to analyze your data. You know, did you decide to use mode, mean, or median? Some other number. What types of numbers you use? So all of this is also included in the procedure because this is part of your project and what you did. I hope this is helpful in guiding you through writing a complete and accurate procedure.